Hi, good morning and welcome back to the Knit Guru. I hope that I'm not lopsided. I hope that the wind doesn't make too much noise. But this is my everything that I knit and crochet in the month of September video. It's been one of those ones where it's just, the weather's not been conducive to filming. So it's actually the 2nd of October today, which means I really need to film this so that I can get it edited and posted by Friday. So hi on Friday, this is done. We'll see how we go. Right, what have I been working on? It's been quite a month. For a while there, I didn't know what I had done. Here's my favourites container. The first thing was unexpected. None of these were on the plan list at all. This is a ghost. This is another Pac-Man ghost, including the amigurumi eyes. Is another Pac-Man ghost. There's another one there. Oh look, there's two more Pac-Man ghosties, and the reason that I started them in the first place, this is a glow-in-the-dark yarn. So I got sent this yarn and I thought I would make some ghosties, and this is actually one of the most glowy yarns that I've come across. I'll put the link down below. There is a discount available to you if you want to use the link. You don't have to, there's no pressure. And recently they've just asked me to do another pattern for them, which is kind of cool, really. I quite like the glow in the dark. It provides an interesting challenge. What else did I then get into? Then I got into, these are the only ones I've still got floating around. I've got some old patterns on my website. This is for, like, there was an old pattern for a daffodil. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure it out and make it better. And then since then, because it was a daffodil festival, and since then I've refined the pattern again and given some away. So this was a crocheted version. I don't mind the trumpet. I hate the leaves. I made another one that I liked the leaves and hated the trumpet. So I've got notes to make that better. This one here is the knit one. This is only in one colour, but it's close to what I've settled on. So that pattern isn't out yet. It's still in development. It's like the strawberry cables. Like, it's in there. And I keep coming back to it, but it's a bit mental, really. Then I sat down in my crochet class and I sort of made this hat. But this hat was sort of reading a little bit more how to turn your ghostie into a farmer rather than more witch hats. So I abandoned that. I'll put all these back in my little box. And I moved on to working on, can we see it here? This version of the witch hat. It's gotten a little bit squishy. So we've got this version of the witch hat as a bookmark. And there's the Wicked Witch of the East's legs. Dun, 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 dun. So this pattern's up on my website. No, this one's up on YouTube. It's not on the website. It will be up on the website at some point. And then I started working on this wee chappie, who's a squished mouse, because the mother-in-law was having trouble catching a particular mouse. It's caught now, and I thought I'd celebrate by making her a squish mouse bookmark. But it's come along relatively well and relatively quickly, so I need to write that one up and test it out again. But I really want to make hers in brown. So there was those. I'll link the Wizard of Oz bookmark below, as well as the ghostie. I'm sure there's something else that I've posted online as well. It's been that kind of month. Then the video from the other day was making Mabel chickens. So this is my little Mabel chicken. I can't find where I've put my big Mabel chicken. I think I've packed it up into long-term storage. But the little one's still floating around, and she's rather cute. I think she needs to be maybe a little bit, like one more row in the milk cotton, I think. Right, they're the only ones that I've sort of completed. Then there was, I went to a 24-hour play festival where I was not participating, but I was organising 3 teams, and I knit this sock and then part of the next sock. So what I need to do is finish this sock here, which we're not far from done. We're on the foot. It shouldn't take too long. There's definitely going to be a whips video. I can sense it already. You might be able to hear my sheep. We might get to meet my sheep. They're my birthday sheep. I've got to mix them up their breakfast in just a moment because they're down to 2 feeds a day, so they've been able to move in with me. It's very exciting because 2 feeds a day works in with my lifestyle. I mean, talk about what a cool gift. Then, this is another one that just needs to be done. This is the start of Christmas socks for my partner. I literally just need to do the Kitchener bind off on this one, and this one's done, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So we are going to be having matching socks, except his has got the black bits because this yarn here is sheep's. But this one is kind of super hard wearing, so it sort of handles going in and out of gumboots and working on a farm quite nicely. It also screams. My partner made me brightly coloured rainbow socks, and I really wish she'd stop, but she doesn't seem to stop. Vibes, which is kind of my go-to. What else have I been working on? I'm getting to this one here. Then I've been working on this anchor cardigan. It's a baby cardigan. The baby's not born yet, so it keeps going into the category of, I can do that later. We're up to the really boring bit, which is just knitting this here. So again, this is another one that's going to end up in my whips video, I'm sure, because I just need to knuckle down and get that done, to be honest. But mainly what's been taking up my time, other than August and September in the performing arts, are just absolutely nuts busy. Just nuts. I mean, October's not that much better. I don't know when our downtime is. There might not be a downtime, but this is half of it. I've finally finished parts 1, 2, and 3 of the Hobie Après Ski Mal. You can do this in knit or crochet. I opted for knit because I just finished the Hobie Crochet Amigurumi reversible one from Project Carrion. I'll link that video down below. I think that video's up. Yeah, I think that video's up. This one, it's a much bigger project. It's going to be oversized even on me because the size down was definitely too small and the size up was definitely too large. And this one, I couldn't work out whether or not it was going to be, because it's meant to be oversized, but there's positive ease. Anyway, I started knitting on straight needles and on curved needles, but then I realized that the straight needles were hurting my wrists, so I've had to swap over. But part 4's been out for nearly a week, and I haven't started part 4. So I've just finished part 3. So part 3 is done. I will now work on part 4. I think part 3 sits, some people say these sit a little too nipply, and I made the smaller bobbles. So I think it might sit around about here, and so part 4 has the neckline. So the part 4 is the first time that the front and the back are different. So I need to get onto that. So that's that. What are my plans for October? Well, October, Socktober. I am doing a 15 minutes a day Halloween sock challenge, which is a bit crazy. Bling Bling Yarns that sent me this glow-in-the-dark yarn want to send me some more yarn to work on a different pattern, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. Excuse me. I've got a whole stack of whips that need finishing, everything from this cardigan to these socks, and I've got 2 hats on the go. One is using the Bling Bling reflective yarn. It's kind of like a safety hat, and then I want to work on some safety socks because they reflect under headlights. The other one is a request because years ago, like probably 10 years ago, maybe even longer, I wrote a series of Minion patterns, but of course there's another Despicable Me movie, so there's been requests to update and change that pattern. So I've just finished working on the body section of an adult man-sized Minion hat. No, I don't even know if anyone actually needs this, but it does mean that I now have all of the sizes worked up to update and re-release that pattern. Now, I'm trying to go through the process of getting my patterns released on Ribbler as well as on my website, because Ribbler has some advantages. There might be a Ribbler video. My website has some advantages. Some of them go over on Etsy, but I don't charge for too many of them, mostly because I really just like sharing stuff, to be honest. You know, this channel's not monetized. I work full-time, but this is what I do for fun. Chickens. The plan is eventually that's what will pay the bills. It's clearly feeding time at the zoo down there. And I will introduce you to my birthday presents who have just moved into the paddock. I've just planted 13 kilos of potatoes, and I have 4 kilos of potatoes left to go. So that's been a big mission. Can you see the weeds in my garden? Yes and no. There are, I think you can see just a tulip floating around there. If I swung around, you'll see some poppies in amongst my garlic. I've put my tomatoes in too early, and I think they're going to die. We've had some frosts, and then some close to frosts, and I thought that I was getting the timing right. I feel like I've got the timing right on the potatoes, but wrong on the tomatoes, and I want to turn over that bit of ground over there and put in the corn, and I need to weed my strawberry patch because 50 square meters of strawberries doesn't weed itself. I don't do anything by halves. All right, I will sign off from here, and the next time you see anybody on this video, it'll be Boots and Mittens, my birthday sheep, and I might even put a link to a play that I wrote down the bottom. And it's gone on to win a few awards. Like, it's won some awards for acting, and it's won some awards for comedy, and it just came second in the country. And it's all about the wool industry, and it's all about sheep. And one of the sheep in the play, because of course there's a sheep in the play, is named Mittens, and Boots and Mittens are up there. If I had known that I was getting birthday sheep, I probably would have named the sheep Cotton Ball and Mittens after the sheep in my play, but I'd already accidentally named Boots when I met Boots when she was a newborn, because she's got little brown leggies. Yeah. Anyway, October's going to be busy. There's going to be lots of knitting, lots of crochet, lots of sock content. Because socks take me such a long time to do, there will be a lot of sock content in this month. Like, there's 2 videos a week all about socks. There might even be 3. There is one other pattern that I've written and developed in this last month, but I'm not telling you about it because it will be released during Socktober. But you will see there'll be albatross socks that I started working on about a year ago, and then developed the pattern for, and then did some testing and got them done and dusted. And you probably have seen me wearing them, to be honest. But that pattern gets released this month because I figured I will hold that until this month. There's a compilation video of, in April, I took on, it wasn't so much an official challenge, but Retro Claude and Engineering Knits both did a thing where they looked at, like, 15 minutes a day was an amount of time they could devote to something. And so I jumped on 15 minutes a day, can I knit a pair of socks? So that compilation video is in there. I think there's going to be the staggered stripe socks will also be released. So I think there's 2 sock patterns being released this month. Maybe 3. But I'm not telling you what the 3rd one is, because it's not a traditional sock. Anyway, I will get off this video because each minute longer that I talk is another minute longer that I have to edit. And it's another minute longer I'm playing wind roulette. Yeah. Anyway, and Boots and Mittens need feeding, so I need to go and mix up their formula. If you don't know the backstory, my in-laws are sheep farmers, and I do a lot of knitting. We've got this subdivided section of land off them, and it's plenty large enough to have a couple of sheep. My birthday present for them were a couple of orphan lambs from this last lambing season, and I got to pick them from a wee bunch of orphan lambs, and I went with the 2 girlies, mostly because they were friendly and cute. And now when I call them and I say, sheepies, where are my sheepies? They come bowling across the paddock, which is very exciting. Maybe I'll film that. Anyway, I need to mix up your formula. I will catch you in a few minutes with Boots and Mittens, but then I'll catch you in a few minutes' time. Well, I'll catch you at the start of next week, because I think this is released on a Friday. Take care. Happy knitting, and Socktober. Oh, that's the other thing I need to mention. Socktober is traditionally a time where it's designed to help provide socks, underwear, that sort of thing to the homeless community. Any money that gets made on my website, because the videos aren't monetized, there are a few sock patterns on Ribbler. Any money that I make this week is going to be donated to the Featherston Food Bank, and anything that you want to make and hand on to your own local homeless shelters, go for it. And hopefully at the end of the month I'll also sort out some socks and knit some hats and get them donated to a local shelter. All right, anyway, now for Boots and Mittens. Right, okay, I've got the bottles mixed up. Now let's see if I can get them to come down to the fence that I want them to feed at, rather than the fence that I was feeding them at last night. No, I'm going up the hill because I don't think they can see me, and they're barring as I call, but I think it'll help if they can see me, because they love me. They will be my best friends forever. Yeah, that sounds really creepy, won't it? Really, really creepy. All right, okay, here we go. Sheepies! Come here, sheepies! Sheep, 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 sheep! Sheepies! Come here! Come on! Sheepies! Come here! Sheep, 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 sheep! Come here! Come on! Now they're starting to move. We've got this one down here who doesn't know how to feel about them. Come on, sheepies! Sheep, 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 sheep! Oh, they're running. Oh, they're running. Now the pressure is on, because I've got to remember which one's which is bottle. Rocky. Sheepies! So Mittens is all white, and Boots has got the brown face and the brown little leggies. Yes, it's time for feeding. So here they are, all fully fed and happy again. So this is Boots. Boots is a good sheep, and she's very, very sweet. Mittens. Mittens. Sheep, sheep. Yes, and this is Mittens, and she's just as much of a good sheep. And they will become my best friends forever. Or woolly jumpers, or at some point. But these are the update on my birthday sheep.